It was the Men Tell All, the Forgiveness edition on Monday's episode of The Bachelorette. Osher, male model Jordan Kimball sparred with his nemesis David Ravitz and with Colton Underwood, and colonizer Jean Blanc took a tasteless swipe at Colton. More on that later, but Jordan later made nice with Colton. David kind of made nice about, if not with Jordan, and previous Class A jerk Chris Randon apologized to Becca and everyone else with the help of his gospel choir pals. Likely future Bachelor Jason Tartick got emotional talking about Bachelorette Becca Kufrin on the Men Tell All but was able to shake it off. Paul Hebert, ABC, and it was a veritable love fest when Becca Kufrin took the stage, with the fellows whose hearts she broke, Jason Tartick, Wills Reed and Colton, all professing their best wishes for Becca's happiness. The real feel-good moment was when Jason, who looks to be the frontrunner for next Bachelor, spoke up for gay and lesbian and bisexual and transgender love when host Chris Harrison fed him a question about his brother's marriage to another man. It was pretty refreshing when you consider one of the men whom Becca may already be engaged to has been outed for liking homophobic posts on Instagram. Article continued below. The real winner on Monday's show, in terms of attention paid, was Jordan. He played Harrison and Becca and the audience and the other men like a fiddle. I don't know if he's any hell as a model, but he dominated much of the episode and ensured we'll keep talking about him, which is likely the whole reason he went on The Bachelorette and Bachelor in Paradise starting next week in the first place. Here's a look at the men and what they said. Jordan, stuntman Leo stated the obvious when he described Jordan as a modern-day narcissist. You fell in love with yourself a long time ago. Jordan proved his point when he claimed life in the mansion revolved around him. I've got billboards up in all their minds. We are paving highways, he said. I should have worn a work vest here. I should have worn a work vest. I don't know what that even means, but everyone chuckled as if indulging a precocious child. Jordan just kept turning situations to his advantage. When Christian, some guy who went home on night one whom no one remembers, started boasting about how he had a real job as a premier banker, and modeling was his hobby, Jordan brought him down to the front of the stage, saying, "This is your moment, right? Come down here." Chris Harrison, camera time, as Harrison snickered. After some mutual insults of each other's outfits, Jordan dismissed Christian with, "I don't know what your name is, but it's nice to meet you," nicely encapsulating the fact that none of us watching gave a damn what Christian who had to say. Jordan used his time in the hot seat with Harrison to put a more positive spin on his antics on the show, saying he wished he'd shown Becca sooner what makes me tick, and that the way he said things was meant to be laughable. Maybe I seem like a clown. I had a good time, I gave her a good time, Jordan said. Even Colton, who kept bickering with Jordan about his golden underwear, admitted that Jordan is unapologetically himself. And I realized that article continued. Bella was for David. He continued to maintain that Jordan hadn't taken his time with Becca seriously enough, but also admitted he took his attacks on Jordan too far. As for the golden underwear, Jordan had them on under his slacks and undid his belt buckle just enough to give the audience a peek as they chanted, "Take it off, Jean Blanc." There's a good chance we wouldn't remember Jean Blanc's name either if not for the fact he told Becca early that he was falling in love with her, and then, when she decided to send him home, took the declaration back. Colton accused Jean Blanc of lying to everyone and quipped, he'll take it back in 3 seconds, after Jean Blanc called Colton a little boy. Jean Blanc retorted, "You're acting like a pea, but you've never been inside one, so I don't know what's going on." A bit of macho nastiness aimed at Colton still being a virgin. Jean Blanc later invited himself on stage alongside Becca to apologize to her, claiming he wasn't trying to take back what he said, except he did, but was doing anything he could to get what we had back. Sure, whatever. Any sense that the apology was genuine evaporated when Jean Blanc pulled out a bottle of perfume for Becca for reminding him of his first love fragrance. The other men were more than justified in rolling their eyes. Joe Harrison quite rightly noted that men who get sent home the first night don't usually get a perch on the hot seat, but man, did you make a big impression on Bachelor Nation. Grocery Store Joe, as he's known, didn't have much to say beyond thanking his fans for being so nice. When Harrison pointed that out, Joe replied, "I don't know you too well, you seem like a great guy," to laughter. Harrison hinted that Joe might be coupled up after his stint on Bachelor in Paradise, but Joe said, "I don't know. You got to wait and see. Don't worry, Joe, we will." Will's supposedly the next Bachelor hasn't been decided yet, so I suppose there's still a chance in theory for Will's, but he seems to still be carrying a torch for Becca, tearing up, watching video of their time together and fondly recalling how he began to fall in love with her in Vegas after he learned that the same nursery rhyme had been part of both their childhoods. Once Becca hit the stage, Jason asked her what he could do to be more vulnerable in a future relationship, whereas Will still seemed focused on the past, asking her, "Where I went wrong." Becca said he didn't, that it was just about where my heart was pulling me, and not wanting to meet his family if they weren't on the same page. "Respect that, love you," Wills replied, and the audience went, "Oh, Colton, never mind the Tia red herring." I believe Colton when he says he had nothing to do with Tia telling Becca she still had feelings for him. And we'll see soon enough if those feelings can be revived on both sides on Bachelor in Paradise. What really upset Colton was talking about his virginity, about how he hid it when he was playing football, and how, "I feel like people think I'm less of a man because of that, it's just part of who I am," Colton said tearfully. "It's sad it's viewed as baggage or a red flag or skeletons in a closet." Colton clearly had the audience's sympathy. Even Jordan spoke up, saying, "Colton, I respect you for being true to yourself, I respect that a lot." Perhaps he really did, although the cynic in me figured it was just Jordan trying to gain nice guy cred. Jason, fan fave Jason, cried too after watching footage of himself with Becca. The difference is, unlike Will's, he put his relationship with Becca firmly in the past by saying, "There will always be a special place in my heart for Becca. She's gonna find her happiness and I will find mine," which is exactly the kind of thing that men who are ready to become bachelors say. As for his brother's marriage, Jason told Harrison, "I'm gonna take Oprah's line, but I say it with all the passion. You know, love is love is love. It doesn't matter to me if you're gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, transgender. If you have a strong relationship, everybody in this country can take away confidence in that relationship. Are you listening, Garrett?" Chris got a bit of a rough ride early in the show, with the other men chastising him for threatening to go home after Becca didn't pay him enough attention on a group date. Chris freely admitted the wheels fell off. "Yeah, I lost control." His rehabilitation continued when he apologized to Becca for letting my insecurities take over, and for disrespecting her. Then 4 members of the gospel choir that Chris brought with him on night 1 came on stage and started singing, "Chris is a jerk," which got everyone laughing. Maybe we'll all think Chris is a jerk again after Bachelor in Paradise. We'll see. In the meantime, we've got another dramatic Bachelorette finale to get through. You can watch Bachelorette Monday at 8 p.m. on City. Paradise starts next Wednesday at 8 p.m. on City, but Tuesday at 8 p.m. on ABC, and you can email me at dyeo@thestar.ca, tweet me at realityo, or visit my Facebook page.